So today's got me a little fired up or whatnot. There's a prominent pastor that posted about the prophets and submission, which whatever, but it's usually, I'm just gonna be honest with you, like I get it. I mean, it'd be better to say false prophets because that just whatever. But when people start talking about submission, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's something weird. I don't know if you just recently have seen that with some other stuff that's going on right now, but something I've learned is if you got a good leader, man, you don't have to preach that because everybody just wants to follow that. There's not a whole lot of good leaders right now. They're loosey goosey or whatever, you know. But you don't have to like con people into and use scripture to get people to submit very often, like, or prophets or whatever. I don't know. It got me a little fired up. I responded and I basically like just used the same scriptures that they used, and I said, like, because they were talking about Hebrews or whatever, and then they were talking about how the economy was going to change and whatever else, but I just basically said that in Hebrews they had house churches, and if the economy does go to crap, it's going to be house churches, and you're going to be eating that person's food. And they basically said, what did they say? I applaud your free will for teaching that. I don't. It's kind of. It's just a weird, super weird thing to see. It's super like on neither, like, lukewarm, weird thing to say. Like, either I'm right or wrong. Up to this point, I really commended that man. I really thought that whatever, but I think honestly, the amount of funds, and I'm seeing, jumping from church to church and whatever, you just really look at it. And if you're out in the community helping people and like actually doing real stuff, like you're just kind of like, why are you flying all over? Where's this money going? What is even going on? Like, it's just, I did not. I mean, I always, people always talk about how much money is like wasted in some ministries, but truth be told, like it's a lot more than I thought. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to fly constantly from one make a church to another, and it's like a big entertainment venue. It's freaking weird, especially with how technology is today. Like, I don't know if they ever think that, but I've had a business before, so I look at the bottom line. But I just kind of feel like if you don't work for something, or you don't get your hands dirty, and people are just starting giving you money, what I've seen in the church is that they just kind of think it's, what's the word, God's blessing, but don't treat it with reverence, and don't get me wrong, God can bless you, God can bless stuff, but I think stretching that blessing to the end is really, really the goal. So I don't know, man. What a weird place we are. I posted earlier about the whore of Babylon riding the beast. I'm just gonna say it again, man. That whore is the church, and the beast is the Western system. It says in the Bible, in the scripture, is the debtor is enslaved to the lender, basically. So, we're all in debt slavery, and the church is okay with it. I mean, here's what you do: you get a church, get a little, more memberships, whatnot, and write that down, and you can write down, everybody gives $20, and then you get a place on the edge of town, and then you wait a few years, and then you sell that. I mean, it's super weird. That's like what you do in business. I mean, it's smart to do that, but then like when you're forced to pay that mortgage, like, it's just, money is the root of many evils. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Just, if you have a really big church or whatever, you don't need to fly around and talk. Here's a really odd thought, and I was thinking about this, and I thought about this. What's the guy's name? John and Lisa. You can get it, but he was talking about, he went to this church in Brazil. It was just huge, but what they were focused on is for the next generation. Like, they were focused on whatever. I was thinking about that in the church that I'm around right now. If the pastor would actually put the effort into teaching the people, like, how to preach, how to be ministers, how to whatever, like, there was a rotational thing in the church, man, that would be one fired up church. Think that's gonna happen? I don't know. Everybody wants to be on the altar or pedestal or whatever the heck is up there. I was thinking about that other day. It's like altar calls. Like, why is this dude standing on the altar? Like, it's super weird. Like, if you just really think about that and know the Old Testament, it's just the whole, what's going on, man? What is going on? I think we need to look more about ourselves instead of like preaching to the preached out, you know? Like, teach the preached out. Like, I'm talking about the church people. Like, we're constantly preaching, like, and entertaining the church people. If we would teach them how to not be entertained, but to entertain, like, to be servants, you know? I think everything would change. I got a tree that's about to fall down. Free firewood. Alright, have a good one. Stay blessed.